Hey friends, in today's video we are creating this look. This is basically like my signature everyday look, and I'm using what I'm calling like my top shelf products. I carry this little travel case around with me everywhere because I'm always bouncing from the house to the office to the studio to film my makeup. So I'm never sitting down and doing my makeup at home. Typically I leave the house with no makeup and then I get to a place and then I film myself doing my makeup. And these are my favorite products. These are the products that never fail me. You could call these my holy grails. These are just my staple everyday products for my signature look. So let's get started. So this is my makeup case. I got it from the brand Cowpack online. They come in small, medium, and large, and believe it or not, this is actually the small size, which I find to be actually pretty large. It holds so much makeup in here. It's unbelievable. Like, I have so much product in here, you guys. So I keep this packed with kind of my essentials, products that I use often, products that are great like for a daily, everyday makeup look, because I'm constantly doing my makeup either at the office or at the studio. I'm always bouncing around, doing my makeup for content. So actually I very rarely do my makeup at home and then start my day. I always leave the house like this and then I do my makeup somewhere else. So this always comes with me. So I thought we would go through this and kind of just share some of the products in here and talk about why I love them and why they have earned a place in this bag, because to be in this bag, you have to be pretty coveted. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Just to catch you up on what I have on my face already, I have my tinted SPF, which I have at home. That's the Elastin Hydro Tint. And then I do have a little bit of brows on as well. And I'll leave my brow products and the Elastin linked in the description box and also tagged here on YouTube. YouTube has a new feature where you can shop your videos easily. So whenever I'm able to tag products through the YouTube feature, I will do that to make shopping a little easier for you guys. I always start my makeup by prepping my lips. My lips are so dry and they are getting worse this time of year because it's colder and drier temperatures. I'm gonna go in with the City Beauty lip oil. This stuff is amazing. I love a good lip oil or a lip balm to prep my lips. I like my lips to be hydrated and have time before I go in with lip product like my liner and my lipstick, which is the last step of my application. This feels amazing. And I'm pretty certain that this is actually like a nighttime treatment, but I use it to prep my lips before makeup, and I also use it at night. It feels incredible. It's probably my favorite lip oil. I also love the Merit Beauty lip oils, but they're a lighter weight. This is not heavy at all, but this just feels a little more rich. So I love this. Actually, City Beauty is having their Black Friday Cyber Monday sale right now, and it's 40% off site-wide, you guys. 40% off site-wide. So you can pick this up for 40% off. I know they have a hard time keeping this in stock because it's that good, but I will have a link down below for it for you guys. I'm also going to link some of my other favorite City Beauty products down below for you as recommendations to grab during the sale, including their City Lips, which I'll be using later today in my favorite shade. I do want to thank them for partnering with me and sponsoring this part of the video. I'm going to go in and apply my foundation. Now, I carry two foundations in here. I carry a liquid, and then I also carry my Jane Iredale Pure Pressed Powder Foundation. The liquid that I carry is the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. I love this. It just looks beautiful all day long. It has a very natural velvety matte finish. It gives great coverage, great wearability. It doesn't look heavy. I mean, it does look like makeup. It's not like the foundation I would wear when I want a super natural look, but it definitely doesn't look heavy. For the amount of coverage that you get and for a matte finish, it looks really beautiful on the skin. But today we're not going to do that. Today we're going to go in with the Jane Iredale Pure Pressed Mineral Foundation. I'm the shade Golden Glow. I keep this in this bag because this is just my easy go-to foundation. I'm going to use the 107 brush to apply it. This is a very buildable coverage, so you can apply it with a large powder brush if you want a more sheer application, or you can use something like I'm using, which is a little more dense, and you can just kind of pat and press it into the skin if you want a little bit more coverage. So I'm going to really build this up to get a bit more coverage. I love this powder foundation because it does not look like other powder foundations. Once it sets onto the skin and once I use the hydration mist along with it, it just looks really beautiful and natural on the skin. I actually have heard from a lot of you ladies who, are in their 60s, 70s, you say that you love this as well. So it's great for mature skin. It's great for really all skin types. It also has an SPF of 20 in it. So I'm gonna go and apply this all over. It also makes the skin look super smooth and blurring. So the concealer of the moment for me is the Natasha Denona concealer. I love this concealer. One of my favorite makeup artists, I'll link her channel below here, she raves about this concealer and I finally was influenced and I got it. And I am the shade, by the way, P3. So I'm going to apply this in the inner corner. What I like about this concealer is it's very, very lightweight. And this shade in particular is more of a peachy tone, so it does a really great job of canceling out darkness under the eye and this little kind of like green vein that I have in the inner corner. It's very lightweight. I'm gonna go in with the Nikki BK Beauty N14 to blend this out. This kind of reminds me a little bit of like a very small mini 110 concealer brush. I'm just gonna use it to pat and blend this into the skin. I'm gonna take the extra and I'm gonna use the tip of this brush and kind of sweep it underneath the brow to work as like a natural brow highlight. That concealer is so beautiful. It gives exceptional coverage and it is so lightweight. And the finish of it is slightly radiant, but it's not super creamy to where it's gonna move and migrate a lot into texture. You still do wanna set it with the powder, and you also wanna make sure that you absorb any excess so you don't end up with creasing, but it is stunning. It is beautiful, and that is my perfect shade. It gets brightness, but it also is deep enough to cancel out and cover. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so we're gonna go in and bronze the skin, and I'm using the Patrick Ta bronzer. This is a duo product, so it has a cream bronzer on the bottom and a powder bronzer on top. I love the cream bronzer. I don't use the powder too much. The powder's a little too deep for me, for my preference, but I love this color in the cream. And I'm using the same brush that I used for the powder foundation. It's the 107, and I'm just going to slightly kind of build this up. Now, I did use a powder foundation, so in order to not really disrupt that, I'm just gonna pat it onto the skin versus sweeping or swiping the product. I'm just gonna press it onto the skin. So it's basically to deposit that color on top, but not disrupt the powder foundation that we have underneath it. I love this cream bronzer. It's really beautiful. It's nice and emollient, but it doesn't move or like heat up on the skin. It's like the perfect level of a creaminess texture. So pretty. Love that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put a little bit right here on the temple. Perfect. I'm gonna go in with Nikki's new brush. This is the N16. I'm gonna take that bronzer and I'm just going to do a soft little nose contour. Kind of take it from the brow down. And I'm gonna use this brush to apply the product, but then I'm gonna use the brush that I use to blend in my concealer, and I'm going to blend this out. I'm gonna go in with the N14 and I'm just gonna bounce it right on top of that to softly diffuse and blend out any lines. Since this has a little concealer still on it, it's just gonna kind of help make that bronzer blend into the skin and look natural. So the blush that I keep in my little daily kit is the Westman Atelier Cream Blush in the shade Petal. Sometimes I'll swap this out and I'll have the Jane Iredale cream blush stick, but currently this is what is in my kit. I'm gonna go in with the N17 and I'm gonna use the lighter side of the bristles to apply this cream product. And I like to take the brush to the product versus applying it directly to the skin. It just gives me a little more control. And I'm gonna start right here on the apples of the cheek and just press the brush into the skin to deposit the makeup and then kind of sweep it up a little bit. I'm gonna keep the cheeks a little light today. Oh, so pretty. Oh my gosh, I just feel like you can't have enough blush. I mean, you can, but I'm always tempted to just apply more and more. I love blush. Blush is my thing. Oh, so beautiful, so gorgeous. Okay, so to prep the eyes, we're gonna go in with the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre. I know this is no surprise. And I'm gonna go in with my finger and I'm gonna spread this all over the lid. And we're gonna go from the lashes up to the brow. Now I have a few eye palettes that I keep in here. I'm telling you, this little kit carries a lot. I have the Charlotte Tilbury, the Super Nudes palette, and this is probably my favorite, just easy, everyday go-to look. It has a variety of shades in here. It's mini though, so it's not too big. You get some warm shades and you also get some cool tone shades here. I also have this Chanel Quad, and this is actually packed in here from when we went to the Inc. 5000 Gala and I wanted to do more of a night out kind of look. It's number 4 Ombre Tweed is the name of it. Hopefully they still carry this. I don't usually wear this every day, but I do love these 2 shades right here for the crease if I want to cool down a look. And then I also have this palette from Dior, which is my favorite, one of my favorite little mini palettes. This is the Nude Dress combo, and I love this. It has a really pretty light shimmery peach, a rose gold shimmery shade. You have a nice like medium matte brown, a lighter shade for highlighting the brow, and then you have this really pretty soft shimmer, or it's more of a sheen, soft sheen taupey shade. So these are the 3 palettes that I keep in this bag, but today we're just gonna work with this Charlotte Tilbury Super Nudes. We're gonna keep this, you know, kind of your more everyday look. And I'm gonna go in with the N13 brush. This is the Nikki BK Beauty. And I'm gonna start first with the lightest shade here, We're gonna use the side of the brush to pick that up, and I'm going to sweep this underneath the brow for a little extra highlight. And then I'm gonna take the shade next to it, which is more of this like kind of grayish neutral shade. And we're gonna use the tip of the brush and we're gonna sweep this into the crease, create a crease here. This brush is nice and tapered, so it really gets into the crease and keeps things concentrated there, but it'll still blend it out because it has a tapered fibers around the edge of it. It's kind of wide around here, so it'll blend and diffuse that out. I love Charlotte Tilbury, their formula of shadows, because they are just so soft and consistent. You know, they don't skip, they're not patchy, they just blend out beautifully. And you have a lot of control. So they have a good amount of pigment, but they're not too pigmented. So you can really get a soft diffused look if you want, or you can like pack it on and get more pigment if you prefer. And I'm gonna kind of pull this out a little bit to kind of elongate the eye. This shade is nice because it gives some definition in the crease. It's not like a real warm shade. It leans more on the cool side. So it really does create that structure without looking like an eyeshadow necessarily. Of course, if you build it like I am, you know, it's gonna look like shadow, but you can really get a very natural definition from this. Do you see how the eye has more structure, but we still haven't done much here yet. Everything looks really natural and light. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna deepen this up a little bit. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and this definitely leans warmer. I'm gonna take the same brush and we're just gonna kind of layer this on top just to add a little bit more depth to this crease. Okay, now I'm gonna take the side of the brush. So I'm working with one brush here. I'm gonna take the side of this brush. I'm gonna pick up that same shadow and we're gonna apply this onto the lid. And I'm gonna basically start here in the center of the eye and then work my way out and apply it on the outer half. So I'm gonna keep the inner corner light still. So far I've done my whole eyeshadow with just this one brush, you guys. This brush is nice because it's stiffer at the base, so you can do what I'm doing now, which is pack on shadow on the lid by using the side of it, but it's still fluffy and will blend out with the tip of the brush. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of work the brush over, bringing that color over a little bit further to the inner corner, but I'm still leaving the very, very inner corner light. Ooh, I just love this palette. It's so pretty. It's just a good color combination, and also the formulas are just this really beautiful, beautiful soft matte. So nice. Okay, next we're gonna go in and we're gonna take the lightest shade here, and we're taking the N12 brush. This is a larger smudger brush, and I'm gonna take the side of it and really pick up this lightness here. We're gonna go and place this in the inner corner right here, just to really brighten that area up. And we're gonna take the same brush and color, and we're gonna extend that lightness right over here. So it's like the inner corner extending to the side of the nose. And that's just gonna brighten and widen the eye. I have been loving this. Nikki was in town about a month or so ago and she did my makeup, and she did this technique and I've been doing it ever since. I love the look of it. Perfect. Oh, so pretty. I love makeup. Makeup is just so fun. It is so fun. The liner that I carry is the Urban Decay 24/7 in the shade Bourbon. And I am going to create a line right here on the outer half of my lash line. I'm gonna keep it kind of thick on the very, very outer corner, and then drag it in so that it kind of disappears as we get to the middle of my lash line. I'm not worried about it being too perfect because I am gonna go over this with shadow. So if it's not even, or if it's a little thicker or a little bumpy, that is okay. Oh, I love this color, it's so pretty. It's just a really nice, rich amber bronze. Then I'm going in with the angle brush. I'm gonna go in and apply a darker shadow on top of this. We're still using the same Charlotte Tilbury palette. We're just gonna go in with this dark brown shade, and I'm gonna load the brush up on either side, tap off any excess. I always like to place the out part of the brush out like this to kind of create a little bit of a wing, extend the line a bit. Oh, so nice, so easy. And I'm kind of pulling it out. I'm not necessarily pulling it up. I'm kind of doing this like elongated eye. Perfect. Oh, I love it. I do have 2 eyelash primers in here. I've got, of course, my Dior, and then I've got my Jane Iredale lash primer here. Let's mix it up today. Let's use the Jane Iredale primer. I'm gonna do a couple coats of this on the lashes, really build it up. If you are not using a lash primer, I highly encourage you to give it a try. I mean, it's just really gonna make the biggest impact on your lashes, but it also is gonna help improve the quality of your lashes. If you're using one that has ingredients that promotes like lash health, the Jane Iredale does, the Dior does as well. I believe the Grande Cosmetics Lash Primer does as well, but think of it as like a double benefit. You know, you're doing it and you're getting longer, fuller lashes because it's helping your mascara build, but you're also improving the health of your lashes. So over time, you're getting longer, fuller lashes. I have a couple mascaras in here. I'm telling you, this bag carries so much. I have the Grande Lash Mascara, and then I have the Bobbi Brown Smoky Lash Mascara. And we're gonna go in with this guy lately. I've kind of been obsessed with him lately. This is one of my favorite mascaras. He gives really nice, full, fluttery lashes, lots of volume and length, and the fanned out effect, which I really like. And I like that the lashes look soft still. They don't look hard and crispy. Some mascaras, you know, they can do a great job of giving a lot of length and volume, looking very dramatic, but as it dries, it just kind of looks hard. Like the lashes look hard and crispy, and I don't like that look. This really gives a nice, soft, wispy look. Oh, I love it. I just love mascara. Such a difference. Mascara and concealer are the products that I feel like make the biggest difference in brows, for me at least. I'm not blessed with beautiful full brows, or maybe I was, but I over tweezed them and they just never grew back in. Brooklyn, my oldest daughter, has really full brows, and she started tweezing them about a year ago, and I was like, don't touch them. Don't touch them, my love, let them grow. Okay, and I really take my time to build my lash, especially when I'm doing a real clean, classic shadow like this. I really take my time to build the lash, so the lash is kind of the focus of the look. It really makes the overall look of the eye makeup. Okay, perfect. All right, I haven't done anything on the lower lash line because I'm still kind of deciding what we're gonna do down there. I'm gonna go back in with my N12 brush, and I'm gonna use the palette for my liner. We're gonna start with the lightest kind of shade over here. We're gonna smoke this out on the lower lash line, and then we'll probably go and build with a darker shade. The thing about using a tiny brush like this that's kind of more dense is it's going to make any shadow look a little bit deeper on the skin than it does in the palette. So even though this looks like a light shadow, it's gonna translate a little darker just because I'm using a brush that really picks it up and concentrates it. If I were using a big fluffy brush, it would apply it more true to how it looks in the palette, but this brush really picks up and applies shadow. So I always recommend starting with a little bit lighter than you think when you're looking for eyeshadow to serve as liner on the lower lash line. And then you can always go up and build it, which I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go into the next deepest shade right here. We're gonna add this just to deepen this up softly. Just add a little bit. Perfect, so pretty. Oh, I just love a good warm matte eye. It is my signature go-to look. It's just classic and clean, complimentary. I am gonna apply a little mascara on the lower lash line, but I'm not gonna apply a lot. I want to keep the lower lashes real soft. While we're at it, let's just do one more extra coat. One more little coat. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have all the makeup, it's time to move on to lips. This lip oil is still sitting beautifully on my lips. It feels so, so good. I do want to use a lip liner, so I am going to kind of blot what's on my lips. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna use my hand, kind of blot some of that off. It'll still keep the lips very hydrated. I do want my lip pencil to have more close contact with the skin on my lips so that the color transfers. This is my favorite lip pencil of the moment right now. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium 2. This is a little bit deeper than my natural lip color. It basically gives me like that ideal lip color. And I am going to line the lips and slightly overline by making that line a little thicker. So I have lined my lips and I filled most of my lip in just to give more volume to the lips, give them more shape. Also, when my lipstick wears off, I'll be left with a little liner to kind of stain the lips so it just wears off more beautifully. I am going in with the NARS Air Matte Lip Color. This is the shade Dolce Vita. I love this formula. It is this like moussey, velvety texture. It smooths and blurs texture on the lips. So if you have a lot of fine lines, this is gonna give a very smooth, kind of pillowy look to the lips. I just love this. It feels so good. It's very lightweight. I'm gonna kind of press that together, and I am gonna allow this a few seconds to set before I go in with my lip gloss. Okay, now that that's set, I'm gonna go in with my last product, which is the City Lips Lip Gloss. This is one of my favorite lip plumpers. I love the shade San Diego. It's this golden shade. Well, it's like a pink with golden shimmer to it. It has pigment to it, but it's pretty sheer. So they're great, great lip toppers. Like put it on top of a lipstick and it'll slightly tweak and change the lip color, but it'll just give it this really beautiful gold highlight to the lips. There's shimmer to this formula, but it's super, super refined. So it just adds to that like juicy, plump, like volume to your lips. It's so beautiful. And it's very comfortable. It's not one of those lip plumpers that irritates or stings the lips. I love this formula. I always stock up on these when they're having a sale. I'm definitely going to pick up a couple of these during their Black Friday sale. I'm also going to grab a clear one. Their clear is great to have because you can put it over any lip color and it won't tweak the lip color at all. And I'm going to apply this on the lips and then I'm actually going to take the tip of it and kind of trace the lip line. So I still see the color of the lipstick, but you can see that it gave this beautiful high shine to the lips and a slight gold tint to it. So pretty. Okay, and the last step is I'm gonna set everything with the Jane Iredale Palm Mist Hydration Spray. Smells so, so good. So what this does is it helps the makeup just like meld into the skin and look very natural. This is like the secret ingredient to getting the mineral foundation to just look like skin. So I apply that all over and it just helps everything kind of set in. So that is the finished look. I'm gonna link all the products that I used down for you in the description box and also tag them here on the YouTube video if you wanna shop that way. Don't forget to check out City Beauty's 40% off Black Friday Cyber Monday sale, you guys. 40% off site-wide. It is insane. I'm gonna link the City Beauty products that I use, like the lip oil and the City Lips, and I'm also gonna include some of my other favorite products from them. They have a great line of skincare, masks. They have this mask that I love to use when I'm a little dehydrated or need a little extra hydration to the skin. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave me all your questions, comments down below, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.